Hello everybody, this is Hina again, and thank you so much for joining me. I want to show you my very first journal I ever made, and this is definitely a hot pot of ideas and designs and colors, because at the time I had absolutely no clue about journals or what to put inside of it. When my life started slowing down a little bit and I had time to be a little more artsy, I started painting, but after a couple of years I ran out of wall space, so I was really looking for an alternative to be creative. So I came across scrapbooks and smash books and junk journals, sorry, and I looked up all the details of how people made it, and I wanted to give it a try. Originally I thought I'd start with a book for just my mementos, you know, the things all moms have, some little sweet things kids have given you when they were little, and birthday cards and so on. So this is what this book is all about. I want to take a moment here to thank everybody who comments and likes and subscribes. My channel is just a wee bit over 3 months old, and I'm so happy for all the positive response I had given. Thank you so much. So I better get started before this gets too long. This particular journal is made from a cereal box, and you can find a couple of links in my description box on how to make those. I decoupaged it with napkin. I colored it with acrylic paint. Some of it was pearly, so that's why it's a bit shimmery. I added the doily and a little doily butterfly, a little bling, and someone has given me this old-fashioned clip-on earrings. So I cut the top off and glued them on these really big paper brads, and that's what's holding the ribbon in place. Now the spine, it has actually 5 signatures, and I've given it a 3-hole binding, very simple. And then I added the ribbons inside each signature. It kind of helps them stay in place and also makes it look pretty. Then of course I added some charms, excuse me. These were all taken from broken jewelry, mostly from my big girls. There is a little tassel right here, and I attached all of them to a little ring which is attached to the top of the spine here. Alright, let's have a look inside. So right here on the first page, I'm moving this over a little so you can get a good view. This is a birthday card I had received many years ago, and it has 11 angels on it, and 11 is a very significant number for me, and you will understand in a little bit. So there is a little lace, and then I put some German die cuts here, my name, and on this page you'll see some tiny photos of some of my paintings. Here's a really old photo of my husband and myself, and we first met, which was in Kathmandu, Nepal, 1978. Here I used a little ribbon to lace up the pocket, and I like to keep good memories in here. This is the words to a German lullaby I used to sing to my kids when they were little. This is a library pocket. I decoupaged it, and as well as the background, and little journaling spots. Here's a painting one of my daughters did during her time in Peru. She's a good artist. This is just a photocopy of it. A nice quote I enjoy. This was a card for my 60th birthday. That's me. All my kids signed it, so I wanted to keep it. This is just some interesting paper I had, and I added a little bit of fabric flowers to it. And here I found these tiny little paper frames, so they hold all the countries I've ever lived in or visited, which is 30 plus. Here are some little drawings my older kids did of their little brothers. This too was a card one of my girls drew, and then they put this long poem in it. And I received this many years ago, and I wanted to keep it. This is a world map. We did a lot of traveling, and a list of all my kids and their birthdays and where they were born. And I tried to decorate every page. This is some lace, a little bit of doily. I put lots of tuck spots. And although they're not filled yet, I have the plan to do so. I want to put, you know, little words of wisdom, little thoughts, and also little letters to each of my kids into this book. And so there is plenty of room for that, plenty of envelopes and tuck spots and so on. When I was first making this, I had no clue about how to make pockets or anything like that. So I used all kinds of things I could find. This is a floppy disk envelope. And this is a card I added recently just because of these big tuck spots. It's quite easy to add more cards, which I'm sure I will get a few more I want to keep. And this is also a tuck spot. I just, you know, I was really playing around, seeing how I can make them look nice and how to mount them. I used a little lace and a little bit of paper clips. This is a really old flower. It came on a very old postcard, and I thought it was very cute. And this is my family photo when all of my kids, including myself, were still a bit younger. And there's another envelope. I have a few of those because it can hold a lot of things. Oh yeah, this is another drawing of my daughter. She's funny. And a little pocket, a beautiful quote by Picasso. I like this one. Art washes from the soul the dust of everyday life. And a mermaid. I really love mermaids. Then I did one of these pockets, again with just some journaling spots and different ephemera pieces I could find. This is a lace flower, and I mounted it on this page with some homemade sprays. This was just when I started out with that, just to see how it works to make my own sprays. And this page I dedicated to my sweet pets. There's Millie, our dog, Rusty, our cat, and I added these little tags, and it tells exactly where we found them and a little bit about them because they were both rescues. They're very much a part of the family. And another two big die cuts. I love these die cuts. I used to collect them when I was a little girl, so a lot of good memories. And there's another pocket. Oh yeah, one of my sons had given me a big Chinese painting kit, so I tried it out. Not easy. That was my first attempt, so I am keeping it in here. And another, this is just another little painting for a Mother's Day card. I kept it mostly because of the comments. One of my twins, he was maybe 8, he writes, "Happy Mother's Day to the best in the business." How fun is that? How fun is that? Sorry, and if you see how he writes business, B-U-I-S-N-E-S-S. Well, he was trying. It's too cute. So another envelope, birth announcement, when my twins were born. And as you see, I tried to decorate everything, mostly with things I had on hand, really, because I've always been crafty, even though I've done mostly painting. I had all kinds of odds and ends. And then, of course, as I got started, I picked it up here and there, wherever I could find something interesting, and I tried to, you know, pretty up the pages. Little pockets, couple little cute tags. And then comes a page, and this one is dedicated to my wonderful daughters. I have 3, and it has the little quote, "Girls in white dresses with blue satin sashes" from Sound of Music. I really enjoyed making this one, and again, there's room for some journaling. I enjoyed putting that together. It has their names down here. In this photo, they were little, they're dressed up as angels. Now they're all grown adult women. Some pretty flowers, a nice picture of my husband and myself. I like the sentiment here, and the little fabric heart. And this was really the first page I did, which is a bit more artsy, like art journal-y. And it was really something I fell in love with when I first discovered art journals. And it's something I really like a lot and do now mostly. I do a lot of collages and mixed media pieces, so if you like those kind of things, please check my channel and you will find some hopefully interesting journals for you to look at. So this one was my first try. It's just phone book pages in the back, some butterfly stickers, a little bit of painting, and I added some bling and some glitter paint and a couple of tags as well. And just different mementos, different things people had given me. It's a little envelope dedicated to my mom. This is a clover. She loved clover. It's a 4-leaf clover she's given me a long time ago. Those are little linen prints. I kind of like them and put them on this interesting paper. Birthday card from some special friends. Another little tag. Added a little ribbon to this paper. And here I made another little tug spot. This was taken from a card. I used some washi. And let's see, some really old stamps I had forever and ever. And this is a little gift tag, a German gift tag. Put it on here. And then, as I told you, I was watching all the fun videos and I saw someone making this pocket, so I had to make it. I think scrapbookers use this kind of format sometimes. So that was fun. And there's some 2 tiny little paper brads holding it together. Now this was just plain white paper, so I always try to color it a little and put a little embellishment on it. But of course I also used craft paper because a friend gave me some of her leftovers. So this is, as I said, an odd combination of colors. These were my very first tags I ever made, and I made those little pockets for them. And I still love tags. For whatever reason, I find them really fun. So there is a tag spot. And this was a very old postcard. It just had the dress form, and I added the dress. It's made from a doily, some lace. I added the little ribbon and a little bit of metal just for the neckline up there. Alright, first time I ever went to a casino, got my own card. Little tag. This too is just experimenting really of what I could do. These are made from some texture paste. Cute little flower on the doily. And this page I dedicated to Andy Rieu. I really like his music. He's a Dutch violinist and he has his own orchestra. Look him up on YouTube. And here again more pockets, a little book made from rice paper, and some envelopes. These are letters my kids wrote me. Another card with a poem I got for one of my birthdays from one of my daughters. A beautiful card with a leaf. I love the texture of this paper. And the other side of this pocket. This was really one huge envelope, and when I sewed it in, I cut it a little bit so you had an opening on both sides. These are poems my kids wrote. And of course there is a page dedicated to my husband. These are just decorations, they don't come out, but here is a little room for some sentiments, some flowers, dried flowers I received from him many years ago, and a little tuck spot. And more tuck spots, and another tuck spot. I love old playing cards. This one I added these 2 little metal beads that don't always stay right in the corner. Come on, alright, fix it later. Oh yeah, and then I was really playing around and I often looked for just little interesting things to put in here to add to my mementos, and I found a Christmas card and it had these houses and trees, and they didn't have the windows in it but just a silhouette, and so I prepared the background looking like a summer sky or day sky, not summer, day sky. But then I thought it would be fun to make a night sky as well, and so I did. It's just a little metal moon. It has some little bling and sprinkles on it. I just enjoyed doing that, playing around like this. And there's a little bit of a tuck spot here too, so I keep it 2 little tugs. And as I said, I put a lot of envelope because then there is room for things I still need to add. This is a little card it was a baby shower card for my little granddaughter. And here's again one of the more fanciest things. I think they're called waterfalls. I saw it on YouTube and had to try it out. So I got some pretty paper and a little lace, and I made one. And of course, last not least, there is a page dedicated to my wonderful boys, my 4 older ones and my 4 younger ones. These are all childhood pictures. And I left plenty of room for a big tag and a little tag. And there's room here too. Cute little sneakers. Alright, and this quote says, "Finding old music you used to love is like getting back in touch with an old friend." I find that to be really true. And these are actually some of my childhood heroes. I used to adore them. These are German singers and performers, and I still enjoy their music, and so they're in there. And here's a little tuck spot. Use some fabric and lace. And another big tuck spot with a pretty feather earring. That belonged to one of my daughters. And so we're nearly done. These are some stickers, but they look so pretty that I put them in here. I'm not usually so much into stickers, but and another piece of lace. And then here in the back, this is actually just an altered manila envelope. And I'm keeping bigger things in it. These are drawings and pictures my kids made for me. So it fits nicely right here in the back. And then this is also a birthday card, but it's one of the noisy ones, you know. Yeah. And it didn't really fit anywhere. So I put down these little corners. They're actually taken from a calendar, like a desk calendar. And it fits just perfectly. So both of these go right here in the back. And it works nicely like this. So now originally, when I was working on this book grew and grew, and it was actually so large that it didn't look like a book anymore. I couldn't even close it anymore. It was like flipping open, because every time I saw something pretty or interesting, I thought, oh, I can put this in my book. But this was the first and only book I had, so everything went in here. But then I thought, there was no way my kids would ever keep it safe or keep it in days to come. It was just very hard to handle. You couldn't put it on the shelf, and so I decided to open it up one more time, and I took out all the extras to use in other books and kept mostly the mementos and the more important things for me in this particular book. So now it's manageable. I mean, it's big and fat, but it can stand up and it can go in a shelf, and it's easy to handle. And of course, it's still a work in process. I still have to write on my tags. I want to write letters, and ever so often I add cards or little tidbits which fit to the theme of this journal. Now, most of the journals I make today are a little bit different. I use different materials, they look different, they have different content. So please check my videos and you might find something which you would enjoy as much as I do. Alright, that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you enjoyed that little glimpse into my artistic life, and otherwise, wishing you a wonderful day. Bye bye.